Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I will be letting you guys know my personal experience in Paris because after I gave you guys that Paris vlog, which I hope you guys all enjoyed, I do think it's only fair to just share with you guys a few of the things that happened that kind of had me questioning a lot. I decided to give you guys the beautiful, which is like Paris was insanely beautiful. Like, I cannot stop saying it. The architecture there was just amazing. But then there was like a series of unfortunate events that happened to my friends and I, so I figured why not share that with you guys as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, Paris was like a once in a lifetime type of thing for me, or at least I'm thinking so, just because I don't see myself going out there again. And I feel like I enjoyed the parts that people go to Paris for, but there were just a few things that I didn't sit well with me about the trip. For example, we were being dismissed a lot. I just felt like when people heard, I don't want to say it was when people heard us speak English, because that would be like, I'm trying to find something to like link it to us being Americans, but I just felt like anytime I asked somebody something, I felt like I was just always being dismissed. And I'm not sure if that's just like me being sensitive, but I'm from New York. Like, I feel like I can take shit. There was 2 instances that I asked for things multiple times and I didn't receive the thing multiple times, and I had to just like explain myself over and over again. The first time it happened was at a Starbucks. It was just super uncomfortable. I felt like the workers there were being fucking dickheads. So we walk into a Starbucks, all the registers were like busy. We're standing there, and then I guess one of them like is done with processing the customer's order that was before us. But the Starbucks was like pretty packed. So it wasn't like the customer had space to move up to clear off the register. So I see him look at us and say something, but he didn't indicate like next or come over. Like, he just had said something. So we're kind of just like looking at him like, what? And like, you would think that the next thing he would do would be like show like a hand gesture, like come over, like next or something. But he didn't. He proceeded to like grab a cup and he like said something in like the mimic of like a microphone or a megaphone or something like that. And he proceeded to like say something, and we're just kind of like looking at him like, what? And then as he's doing that, like all the other employees in the back like look back and they just all start laughing. And like, I've never felt more like, I guess, embarrassed, because it's a language that I'm assuming everybody there knew. So we were the only ones that like didn't understand what they were saying. And I felt like everybody there was just like laughing at the fact that we didn't know that we were next. You know, like we were just holding up the line, and like no one there was like nice enough to be like, hey, like next, or like, hey, like move up, or anything like that. It was kind of like they were all just kind of like standing back laughing. And then finally it wasn't until like we understood like, okay, maybe we should move up. So we go up and we order. I went ahead and I wanted a hot chocolate and a croissant. And I kid you not, I want to say I repeated my order at least 3 times. Like, the woman behind the register, she was like, hot chocolate. I was like, hot chocolate and croissant. Like, hot chocolate and croissant. Hot chocolate and croissant. And guess what? There was no croissant with my order. So I get my receipt. I only see her charge me for a hot chocolate. And I'm like, hey, you were too busy fucking laughing and forgot my croissant. And she apologized and she like gave me my croissant. But it wasn't until I encountered that horrible experience throughout my 5-minute trip to Starbucks that I find like it was just not a good feeling. Like, I don't understand how I walk into a place for 5 minutes and I feel belittled. But that's just one example of many. Like, there was also this one time where we were going to the Palace of Versailles because of the MTA transit, like because of the way like that works, which I have many stories of the MTA to share with you guys. But this one in particular pissed me off because it was one of those moments where it was like, we came to you for help and you didn't fucking help. We had taken the MTA, or the trains. The trains, because not the MTA. We had taken the trains out there for pretty much everything. Like everywhere we went, we pretty much ended up taking the train too. Throughout the week, we ended up getting fined. And on our last like day trip, we didn't want to get fined anymore. Like we had spent mad money on fucking just tickets because of train regulations and shit like that. Because we had been buying our tickets at the machine, like on our own. We were like, fuck it, let's just go to the teller. Let's let him know where we want to go so that we have the right tickets, so that way we don't get fined again. And so that's exactly what we did. We went up to the teller and we let him know we want tickets to the Palace of Versailles, like whatever tickets you have to combine, whatever tickets you have to get, whatever you have to charge us for, make sure you do that. We want tickets to here, to the Palace of Versailles, and then from the Palace of Versailles back. This man asked us, I want to say, at least maybe like twice, maybe even 3 times, like 2 tickets, like round trip, 2 tickets round trip. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we're expecting. Each one of us only paid €3.80. And off the bat, we were kind of like, €3? Like, that seems a little unrealistic for a 2-way trip to and from the Palace of Versailles. But we didn't really, like, we questioned it, but we didn't really question it because it's like, this man asked us so many times that I felt like if I asked him, like, hey, will this ticket get me to and from the Palace of Versailles? I almost felt like he would be like, bitch, yeah, that's what you asked for. Because that's how many times we asked them, right? Once again, like all the tickets pretty much look the same. It's a new country, so we kind of like, we don't know what's right and what's wrong. So we kind of took it as, okay, like we went to the teller, we explained what we wanted. Let's just hope that this is exactly what we need. So we end up getting to the Palace of Versailles. As you guys saw in part 1 of the vlog, I was just not feeling that day at all. That day just started off wrong because we ended up taking like the wrong train and we ended up getting there like an hour late. And then when we got there, like the workers there didn't even know what kind of tickets we had. We had bought the tickets previously online, and when we got there, I felt like there was like no help for the tickets that we had. It almost felt like people didn't know what these tickets were about, and maybe we got scammed, but I highly doubt it. I really just think that they didn't know what the hell they were doing, in all honesty. But once we finally got in, my mood was already not there. Like I was just not having it. It was just not fun. And then I had one of the workers there who thought that my audio on my so the way that I film my videos, I have my phone and I have a mic attached to it. And so the whole thing, I understand, looks pretty like big, but I don't know why she confused it for like a selfie stick. This thing looks nothing like a selfie stick. And if you know me, you know I do not, nor will I ever purchase a selfie stick. That's just not me. But she kind of confused it all as a selfie stick literally after we had gone in and walked the entire first floor, and she kind of like attacked me over it, no selfie sticks. And then she like followed me and she like yelled it across the hallway, and I had to like yell back like, it's not a damn selfie stick, it's audio. And then she finally left me alone. But it wasn't after the embarrassment of her yelling across the fucking hallway at a Palace of Versailles at like 12 p.m. in front of mad people. Like it was just one of those things where it was like, you just drew mad attention to me, and it was not good attention. And so I was just like over it. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not even gonna vlog anymore. I'm not gonna show anything anymore. I'm sorry if you hear that. It is 3 p.m. in New York, and so yeah. But anyways, back to the ticket thing. After that trip of the Palace of Versailles, we were coming back, and remember, we had told the guy like, we want a round trip ticket from here to the Palace of Versailles and from the Palace of Versailles back. And when we went to go take the train, long and behold, the ticket did not work because it was just only a one-way ticket. So we had to purchase another set of tickets, which is fine. It's fine. Like at this point, I feel like, yeah, It's okay, right? The only thing is that, like, if this didn't happen multiple times out there where I felt like what I was saying, people just weren't listening to me, that's what bothered me. It's fine to make mistakes. Like, I make mistakes all the time. Like, I know how to express myself and I know how to ask for things. And it's not because I lack the way I'm asking, or it's not because I didn't ask. It's not like I asked multiple times for these things and I felt like people were just being very dismissive, didn't really care. And so that bothers anyone. Like, I don't mind it happening day 1, day 2, day 3, but the Palace of Versailles was literally the last day. And at that point, I was just over it, because it was just rude after rude after rude after rude. Let me explain to you guys the subway system in Paris, because if no one has put you on yet, I'm gonna be the first to put you guys on, because no one deserves to take a trip to Paris and have to pay over $100 collectively in fucking tickets. And that's exactly what me and my friends did. So let me put you guys on real quick. If you guys go out there, please do not, if you purchase a subway, a train ticket, please do not throw these things away. I don't know what subway line or what train line or what train letter or number or what fucking train out there requires you to have your ticket at all times with you. There are a few train stations where literally when you're coming out, like, you've ridden your train already, like you got to your stop and you're literally steps away from exiting the train station, and you will get cops coming up to you asking you about your train ticket. It doesn't matter if you have your receipt, because we had our receipts all the time. The first time we got fined, we were literally about to get off, about to turn the turnstile, and the cops asked us for our tickets. 2 of us had our tickets, the other one didn't, but we had a receipt. But the receipt did not matter. They wanted the ticket, and because one of us did not have our tickets, we were fined 35 euros that you have to pay on the spot. These motherfuckers do not let you go absolutely anywhere without you paying that damn fine right then and there. And let me also warn you guys that they do not take American Express. But yeah, that was the first time, and it was because we didn't have our ticket. Fine, cool. You know what? Like, I understand it a little bit, because when you take the select buses here in New York, it's very similar to that. You buy your ticket and you have to board the bus with it, and whatever stop you get off at, if it just so happens that a cop is there, you do have to show that ticket. So we were like, you know what? You live and you learn. We're never gonna throw out these tickets ever again. And long and behold, we did not throw out any of our damn tickets. We kept every single ticket that we purchased to go anywhere. We literally kept them all. Like, I literally kept every single ticket. We did not throw these things out. And then on the day of Disney, we buy our tickets, once again by ourselves in like the machine or whatever, and we buy our tickets, we get on the train, and we end up getting to Disney. Like, the stop is there, we're super excited, we're at fucking Disneyland Paris. Like, come on now. As we're about to turn the turnstiles to exit the train station, the cops are there. Now, I'm not worried, because I'm like, we got our tickets this time. Like, here's the ticket. Like, we're ready for you guys. And so we give them our tickets. They like swipe it in this like little machine that they have, and long and behold, the tickets do not work. So we're literally standing on the side and we're like trying to explain to them, or trying to understand like why our tickets are not working, because we bought these tickets, we got all the way to Disney, like we boarded the train, it worked in the train station, like we're just trying to understand why these tickets don't work. The police officer that was with us, like, she was absolutely no fucking help. All she said was that this was like, that Disney was a different zoning than Paris. And so because it was a different zoning, we needed like different tickets. I like to think of me and my friends as, we're not the most educated of the bunch. Like, we're not super smart out here, but we are educated people. Like, I feel like, especially in another country, like, I'm the type of person, I like to look out for things. Like, I like to read everything. I like to make sure of everything, because it's a new country where I don't know anything, you know? Like, I'm the underdog here, so I need to make sure that I know what I'm talking about before I do anything. And so whenever we bought these train tickets, like, nowhere in specifically did it say if you were gonna be in a different zoning, or nowhere on the map did it specifically like draw out different zonings for different different parts of the city. Like, I just really wasn't understanding it. And like when we asked for like a better understanding, like that's all that they could say was like, you're in a different zone, you're in a different zone, you're in a different zone. And it's like, I don't understand what your fucking zones mean, because you guys don't have it labeled on any fucking map. Like, it just didn't make any sense for me. But to cut the story short, we ended up paying another 35 euros each because we were fined right before going into Disney. Like I said, if you're gonna go out there, just be aware of like zonings and stuff like that. I'll be very honest with you, like after she explained the zones to us, it wasn't maybe until like the second day that we heard about these zonings that we finally found a map that specifically cut off the different parts of the city and what zonings they were. So just be aware of that, because it's not super clear out there, or at least we didn't really understand it out there. So yeah, watch out for that. Also, I went all the way to Paris to be rained on in a restaurant before I ate. I mean, it's literally not something that had anything to do with Paris. Like, that was nothing Paris related. It was more of like the restaurant that we were in. But come on now, how do I go on vacation and right as I like sit down with my plate of food and place it on my table, I don't know if there was like holes in the restaurant, but like the light fixture just started dripping, and yeah, it just started leaking everywhere, and they leaked all over my food and all over the table. And the only reason why I didn't end up wet was because the leak was directly on top of my plate. So the minute that the leak started, I just like got up, and that's when everything just went to shit. So yeah, I went all the way to Paris to also get rained on at a restaurant. So there's that. Also, like, we got robbed. Like I said, it was a great trip. Like, I'm super happy that I went and I did it. But like, I feel like I traveled halfway across the world to get fined and get robbed, because I've never been fined or robbed before. Those are just things that have never happened to me. And to like go to Paris and experience those things, I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And this was day one, guys. We got robbed day one. Like, we just landed, we had gone to our hotel, we had left off our bags, check-in was at 3, we had got there like 12, so we just dropped off our bags and decided to like roam around the area just to see like what we have around us, or just like looking around. And there's a McDonald's literally right next door to our hotel, literally right next door. So we decided to go in there. We're just sitting there eating, talking about, you know, like, we're in fucking Paris, like, what do you guys want to do? And two women are going around and they have signs. So the first thing I think of is like, they're asking for change, obviously, because I'm from New York, so I know that whenever people just walk around with a sign, it's usually asking for like change or like food or something. So they get to our table, and obviously we don't know the language, so I don't understand what she's saying. So I'm kind of like explaining to her, like, I have no change or no money, but if you want, you can have my french fries. Like, I had left french fries there. It was just a back and forth. Like, she wasn't really understanding, so I was like, no, you can have my french fries. Like, kind of like pushing my french fries towards her and being like, you can eat them, like, that's all yours. And as I'm doing that, the other one is kind of like by my roommate, and she's just like standing there with the sign, and I don't think anything of it. Like, we don't think absolutely anything of it. I'm just thinking that they're staying around us so long because of the language barrier. Like, there's a language barrier there. I don't understand what you're saying, and she doesn't understand what I'm saying, so it makes sense for this to be as long as it is. So then all of a sudden, like, they just like kind of walk away. Like, nothing was said. They didn't say thank you, they didn't say no, like, they just left. And my roommate had her phone on the table, and so what she noticed the minute that they left was like, her phone was no longer on the table anymore. She was just like, where's my phone? My roommate did not look anywhere else. She took 2 looks in her pocket, and the minute that the phone was not in her pocket, she was like, she took my phone. So she gets up and like a frantic, and me and Allie, we're just kind of there like, what? And she like walks over, she like speaks to the woman, and then she comes back and she's like, she took my phone. And I was like, what? And she didn't give it back to you after you got up and like asked? Because my roommate deadass got up and went up to her, and she came back with no phone. So I was like, what? So I don't know what it is, but I do not, like, not my roommate. Like, had it been anybody else, like, fuck it, like, it's your phone. But not Luzcelly, like, she doesn't deserve that. So I got up and I went after her, and I had caught her going down the steps, and I like grabbed her and I was like, give me the phone you just stole. Like, just like that. And she was kind of looking at me again, like, kind of not understanding. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you are not about to play me. Like,
give me the fucking phone you just stole, or your ass is going down these steps.
Like, I'm not playing with you anymore. Like, this is not fun. It's day one. Like, we need that phone. Not to mention that my roommate was the one that like booked everything and all that. Like, she had been to Paris before, so she knows the area better than we did. And so like everything, most of the things that like we would need were on her phone, on her email. So if we lost that phone, I'm not saying that we would have been lost completely, but we would have lost a lot of information and things that we needed. So yeah, that phone was pretty important. Not only that, but it's a fucking expensive ass phone. Like, give me the fucking phone. And so we're kind of just there. You're not moving and I'm not moving until I get that phone. And so like she finally pulls the phone out of her pocket, literally pulled the phone out of her pocket and was like, this one? In fucking English. In English. Like, shorty said, this one? Bitch. Yes, this one. This one. Yes, how many phones have you stolen that you had to ask if it was this one? Yes, this one. Give me my fucking phone. And so we got the phone. Needless to say, I ended up being a hero. My experience in Paris was literally one of a kind. I had a good time, but there was like things that I was just like, wow, like I cannot believe I came all the way across the world to have this shit happen to me. Like, yo estaba salá. Like, I don't know what it was, but there was something in the air out there. All I'm saying is that if you're going out there, pay attention to like pickpocketers, like the, you know, the people that steal, the people that stole our phone. Be careful of those people. Be aware of where you're traveling to if you're traveling on the train, because you don't want to get fined. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I am gonna go ahead and give you guys a tour of the living room. I feel like you guys for a really long time have been asking me for an apartment tour, and so this is the time to do so. So I am gonna go ahead and do like a Christmas decorating with me or something along those lines, where I'm gonna show you guys what we did to the living room. I hope you guys enjoyed this like small video where I talk about the things that went wrong in Paris. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your support as well. Comment, like, share, let me know what you guys want to see next. Also, I do know that in the Paris vlog, I mentioned my hand and like how it hurts and stuff. I don't know if you guys want to hear more about that. I can go ahead and do like an update on like my process with my finger, because I already went to a hand surgeon and they pretty much explained to me it's almost like 99% sure that I'm gonna need surgery once I get this MRI done. So let me know if you guys want to like hear that, if you guys want to know more about me, more about my life, if you guys want me to tap into a little more of those things, just let me know, because I really am here to entertain you guys. So whatever entertains you guys, I'm fucking here to do, and you guys know that. So let me know what you guys would like to see next. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.